Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. Welcome, welcome. In today's class, we'll be going over some chi perception exercise so that we can develop our perception skills and add them into the practice, sorry, the practice of the form itself afterwards. Um, so there's a few elements that we need to keep in mind when we talk about chi perception. And that is that most exercise to develop the perception of chi are not exercise that will specifically build the chi itself. It's more kind of a small test to see where you're at in your ability to perceive it. And sometimes we need to take that moment of observation to realize how things are actually evolving and transforming. And that's really the goal of the exercise we're going to do now. And so usually to feel the chi at first, it's easier to kind of feel it around your palm and mostly on the outside of the body because this is where the chi that we have that's the more yang circulate. Yang represents activity, represents aspects that are more perceivable. Yin are more hidden qualities, so they're harder to feel. For example, it's a lot harder for people to feel their organs inside their body than to feel their muscle, or if you're touching the skin and the muscle and just feeling how your skin is versus trying to feel how's your stomach doing, or how are your how's your liver doing, how's the size of your liver inside of your rib cage, well, below your rib cage, inside your abdomen. So this is a lot more difficult. Whereas feeling, for example, the bone inside your finger, uh, it's a little easier, although it's still a bit difficult because the bones are a bit deeper. So the idea is to help connect the part of our mind that develop awareness through the body, through that sensation of chi, and through the capacity of chi to link the body together. From a Western science perspective, more and more we can make a correlation between the notion of transmitters and the notion of chi, and those gas that are part of the nervous system that transmit information and that creates a lot of activity within the body allows us to be more connected because they are part of that awareness system. And that's what we're gonna play with a little bit more today and give you guys a few different exercises to play with to see how's your perception doing. The first element we'll do simply through the palm because that's where usually it's easier to do. We're going to massage a acupuncture point at the center of the palm. And the idea here is just to kind of relax the hand, wake up the chi in the palm. My preferred method of massage in this case would be to press to go reach the layer that's just under the skin, then push it towards the middle finger and then release it to create a pump action, which will pull the chi from the chest down the arm into the palm and will allow the fluids and the blood and the chi to circulate better and reach inside so that the palm can wake up and be a bit more alive while we're doing the exercise of perceiving it afterwards. So as you're doing this, we have the advantage of being both the person doing the massage and the person receiving it. So we have neurological input or sensitive input from both sides, from the massage itself, from the thumb that's massaging, and from the skin that's receiving it. So we can observe a little bit better the area and observe how it's changing through the action that we're doing. And so doing this soft massage, bringing all of our awareness into the area to observe what's happening, allowing our breath to relax, to settle into the lower dantian, the body to be more and more relaxed, not to hold tension in the shoulder and press too hard, but to have relaxed shoulder, relaxed arms, hand just naturally lower than the elbows, allowing the breath gently be present up and feeling how the thickness of the palm is starting to change as the relaxation, the fluids start to arrive, transforming it. And then doing the same thing on the other side. Mm. Observing, feeling how the palm is transforming with the massage. Then gently bringing the palm facing each other. So for most of you who are used to do Qigong, feeling the Qi between the palms should be fairly simple. If you're completely new to this, that might be a bit more difficult. It can be developed relatively quickly, but you need a little bit of practice to be able to feel the sensation first between the palm and then more so within the body. So, in order to see if you're not too sure if there is something different going on, we can separate the palm, bring one up while the other goes down, see how the palm feel when they're separated, and then gradually bring them back in front of each other and feel the contrast, feel the difference. And then separating it again, see how they feel when they're not together, and then bring it back and feeling the moments they click together. Gently compressing the air between the palm, allowing it to extend. See how far you can bring your hands apart without losing the sensation. If you lose it, bring them back, bring them closer. See how close you can bring them without losing the sensation. Opening, closing, or condensing the sensation between the palm. Then we'll gradually add the breathing, inhaling as we allow our hands to move away from each other, exhaling, letting them come closer. And see if you're not moving your hand, as if as you inhale, you can feel the pressure increasing between the palm. And as you exhale, that pressure will decrease a little bit. Then using the breath again to try to grow the ball and maintain it on a bit of a bigger type of spear, more space between the palm. Play around with it. See if you can feel really like if it's a big ball or if there's area where you kind of lose the sensation. And notice here that as I'm moving, I'm not just, being straight and just moving my hand. I'm not moving very fast either because I want to make sure to keep that connection. If we start to move a little too fast, it's easier to lose it. If we take time to observe, then our awareness become better. And at the same time, I'm not just moving my hands. where the rest of my body is disconnected, where I would be moving just from the elbows, but I'm using my whole torso, the rotation of the waist, feeling the connection through the legs, how the whole body become as elastic as the sensation of this ball. Feeling the expansion, the compression, moving along, up, rising and sinking. Bring the palms a bit more to the center. And from here, we can start to play a little bit to see how the movement and the sensation between the palm can connect with the inside of the body. Observing on the inhale how the strength of the breath into the lower abdomen and the rising into the chest allow this ball to really fill up the whole space, and then come back on the exhale, gently coming back down into the lower dantian. Feeling how the straightening of the spine help the rising of the chi, and on the exhale, the sinking kind of gathers it between the palm. And this exercise is a little bit more than just perception, but perception can play a big role into it and starting to feel and bring the connection not only between the hands, but between the movement of the hands and what's happening inside the body. And for the moment, I'm limiting my movement to the size of my torso, from the perineum up to the shoulders. We can bring our hands, feel if the expansion sideways feel a little stronger. Bring the hands again, one on top of the other, feeling that rising not only between the palms but also through the torso as we're doing this. Really just playing gently with this ball, allowing it to become thicker and bigger as time passes by, playing with it as we try to compress, expand. We can play also a bit on the diagonal line to see how much bigger we can get. How far apart can you bring your arms? Feeling that expansion, feeling the connection of the ball, and just really playing with the sensation that you have. Are you feeling the connection mostly between your palms, or can you feel it go through your body, going all the way to your spine, all the way behind you? Is the ball only in front, or can you feel it through your body as well? Can you feel between your forearms, elbows, arms? Feel that the ball is filling up the whole space, connecting with the chest, or can you feel it even bigger, passing through the outside of the arm all the way towards the back and filling up the inside of the arm and the inside of the torso at the same time? Gently rotating through the waist and feeling how it's almost like if there's fluid between the arms, but also inside the arm as we're moving gently the torso to feel this connection from the palm through the arms, through the upper torso. Mhm. Here we can bring the awareness more dense, just between the palms. Then we can let this expand. Can you feel it more like a column condensed between the palm? And once you have this column in place, can you feel the bubble that expand, transforming a more dense sensation into a wider sensation, filling up a bigger area? And for this, the position of your hand or the movement between the expansion of the finger and the shrinking or the bringing the fingers more together will play a bit of a role. So if we take a smaller ball, just to make this a bit more easier to feel, if your fingers are a bit more open, like if you're holding a balloon, will be um, sensation where you can feel that you're really kind of holding a more spherical aspect. And if you gently allow the fingers to come closer together, so between a wider finger spread, which creates a bigger ball, letting the fingers come together, it kind of densify a little bit more. If you really bring them almost barely touching, you can feel that there's less of a ball, but there's a more direct kind of column type of sensation between the palm, where you can feel stronger pressure between them versus opening the palm, kind of create a wider, more spherical type of sensation. Playing gently with all these sensations and see which one are easier for you to feel, which one are a bit harder, not putting any judgment on it, especially not getting any type of emotional reaction, because then the chi goes away and it's going to work even less. But on the opposite, to really get more of a mm, enthusiastic discovery type of sensation, just like a little kid who's discovering something beautiful for the first time. Mm. The more relaxed and playful we are with it, simple, observing, the better the sensation will develop. So from here, with the sensation between the palm, we can roll our hands and bring the sensation to the back of the palm and then back in the front. So it's like if I'm taking the ball that I have between my two hands, I'm kind of rolling it around and passing through the back of my hand to see if I can feel the same kind of sensation in the back and then bringing it back inside. This exercise will help to develop our perception still more on the peripheral or periphery of our hand. That will help us to get a better sensation after when we start to just move our awareness between the palm and the outside. So here feeling the ball and feeling that my hand is inside the ball as well. Feeling that the outside, if I bring my awareness on the outside of the palm and I try to separate my hands, it's almost like if I'm inside a big elastic that's giving me resistance and bringing my hands back together gently. Again, feeling the back of the hand, gently rolling up to develop the awareness of the back. Feel the inside, bring the awareness on the outside of the hand. Back on the inside. And at this point, you should feel like there's a bubble between your hands, but also surrounding your hands as well. Almost like if your hands are in a big glove or mittens, very thick, all around you. From this sensation on the outside, we'll start to bring our awareness a little more on the inside of the palm. And how we're going to do this is to feel the ball on the inside, then bring our awareness on the back of the hand, and switch between the palm and the back, feeling the two different sensations, and then moving our awareness through the hand, coming from the palm, inside the palm, or inside the hand, inside the thickness of the hand where the muscle, the bones are, going all the way to the back of the hand, and then moving our awareness from the back of the hand through the palm or through the inside, trying to feel where the bones are, the muscles, and then bringing our awareness inside the palm. So gently moving on the inside of our hand to feel the thickness of it, to feel where the bones are. You can gently move your fingers as this will help you have a better perception of where your bones are. And then stop moving and try to see if you can still feel them just through the perception of the chi. And for this, we can go a little bit more systemic. Can start, for example, with the thumb, feeling the outside, the skin that surrounds the thumb, and gently bringing our awareness deeper inside, feeling the tendons, the ligaments connecting the bones together, feeling the bones, and following from the tip of the thumb, following the bone all the way to the wrist, and then moving through the palm, feeling the connection with the index finger, following inside the index all the way to the tip. See if we can feel the different bones, the ligaments, the tendons, the small muscle that are around. Then from the tip of the index finger, gently bring our awareness back all the way towards the wrist. From the wrist, following the bones of the middle finger, feeling the different joints when we're shifting from one bone to the other, all the way to the tip of the middle finger, and then coming back. Through the palm, all the way to the wrist, and then from the wrist up through the ring finger, through the palm first, all the way to the knuckle, and then the other smaller joint, all the way to the tip of the finger. And then coming back through towards the wrist, and then following from the wrist to the pinky, through the palm, feeling the bone of the pinky inside the palm to the knuckle, feeling the bones inside the pinky finger all the way to the tip. And then gently bringing our awareness back inside towards the wrist. And then from the wrist, spreading and feeling the bones of all the four fingers, trying to see if we can feel them together inside the palm. Feeling the fingers is a little easier, so we're going to focus a bit more inside the palm area itself. Feeling the space between the bones, feeling the flesh that's in there, feeling the muscles, the tendons, all the blood vessels. Bringing our awareness to the movement of the blood, feeling the pulsation of the heart that reached all the way into our palm. And see if you can feel at the same time the pulsation in your hands, and use this to connect and feel the pulsation of your heart inside your chest. Do this very softly. It's an observation. The more relaxed you are, the easier it will be to feel. And if you can't, it will be for another time. It will grow. But by observing, we have more chance of discovering it. If we try, chances are we're not going to make it because we force things. If we observe, the process of the heart beating is always there. It's happening. We just need to observe it to realize it's there. If we try and force ourselves to try to do it, it might not be as comfortable, might create some tension in the chest. Too much intention, too much will of trying to do something creates tension. On the opposite, we want to develop attention without tension, observing what's going on and feeling what's happening naturally at this moment. And bring our awareness back towards the palm, gently moving between the palm, feeling that thickness of the chi. And again, just feeling and playing with it. A bit of a free form, how you wish to move around. If you wish to take a few steps just to kind of relax a little bit the legs, you can do it as well. Try to see if you can feel at the same time the connection of the chi through the leg as you're stepping. If you need to sit, it's an exercise that you can do seated as well. Adapt to whatever you need to do at this point. I'm trying to feel the sensation through the legs, up, pumping the chi of the earth, letting the chi of the sky sink, connecting, bouncing back up. Just finding this pneumatic sensation through your legs. The perception of qi becomes a little more difficult as we add more movement, partially because movement will consume a certain amount of qi. So if you start to lose too much of the perception as you're moving, come back to a more static posture. If you feel that you have a better sensation as you're moving, it also helps to remove some stagnation. Movements does. So as we move, we can let go of some stagnation, which allow the chi to start to move a little freer within the body. Up. Just playing and enjoying the sensation. The rising and the sinking, entering, absorbing the chi, letting it take its expansion. So playing with the four movement of chi of condensating, expanding, rising, sinking. We can transition gently into our first movement of the form and just feeling how this sensation can guide the movement as the chi rises and connect to heaven, as it sinks back down and connect to the earth. Can you feel here the connection between the palm connecting to the earth, the rising at least through the hands and feeling that the hands are connected with your weight chi, the bubble that's around you. Then gradually maybe even feel how they connect through your feet, feeling the chi rising through your body, connecting to the sky, expanding that bubble around you through the environment, sinking it down. Let's do one more of this one. Connecting the palms together. And through this connection, feeling a little more inside, the rising through the back, the sinking down the front, the connection of the feet with the earth, the chi rising through the legs and on both sides of the torso to the shoulders, the sinking, the tightening around the waist, the absorption into the lower dantian, the central axis from the top of the head down to the center of the feet. And just letting your hands come back down to your side, staying in Wuji for a minute, observing the movement of qi through your body. See as you breathe if you can feel the movement of your diaphragm. Feel the movement through the abdomen of all the organs, maybe not the organs individually, but at least kind of a global idea of that balloon into which the organs are settled in. Maybe bring your awareness onto the lower dantian, feeling an area where the qi gathers a little bit more. See if you can feel the rippling passing through the spine, the movement of the cranial sacral rhythm, the opening of the cranium bones. And just observing what is there, observing your body, observing yourself. This amazing living being that you are. So many incredible processes are happening every second, and because of them, you're alive. We're just usually not aware of them. And even if we can't feel each and every details, which would just be overwhelming with way too much information, just being able to observe calmly the harmony that those processes are creating as they work together. Mm. And taking a moment to be grateful and thankful for each cells in our body, for all of the bacteria that are inside of us that are maintaining us alive, without whom we wouldn't be alive. And feeling through the Wei Qi the connection with the environment we're in as well. Because without this environment, we wouldn't be here either. Mm. Letting this connection between the inside and outside grow. Feel this harmony between the two being present. And letting the chi make the connection between all of them. Just to finish up, we'll use the last movement of set 2 to allow the chi to start to flow back into its automated circuitry. Inhale, exhale. Good. Gently rubbing the palms together. Excellent. Hi, Alex. A little later, but hi. How are you guys doing? Take a seat. Let me know in the chat how you're all feeling. How was the trip? If you have any questions, give you a few minutes to land, and if there's no question, then we'll just finish for today. A little trip into Chiland today. Great. Excellent. How was the sensation for you, Alex? Were you able to feel it mostly between the palms? Were you able to feel it on the outside of the hands, through the arms, a little bit through the body? How did that present itself for you? And for, the question is open to everyone, of course. Mm. Mm, Almost a sort of trance. Yeah, it's a meditative state. So trance has a bit of a different understanding depending on culture, but definitely a state of meditation is necessary to be able to feel that sensation of chi within the body. Thank you, Jane. Yeah. Um, so Jane was saying very similar to the exercise we do for meridian line medical qigong. There's, the sensation of chi is the sensation of chi. Once it starts to develop, there are many ways to play with it and feel the connection through the body, but bottom line, the human body is the same for everyone. It doesn't matter what race or or ethnical background you're from. Doesn't matter what religious or philosophical belief you have. The body is the same for everyone. We can use different names, we can use different theory to try to explain it, but once we're in the sensation, the core of it will be very similar. We can interpret it a bit differently, we use different words to try to make sense of it, but ultimately, how the body works is no different from one another. So it's always good to have different perspective because this is what helps our mind to have a broader vocabulary, a broader understanding. The human body is such a complex machine that it's difficult to have the whole understanding of it yet. We see science with modern science every day, almost every week for sure. There's new understanding of different processes that are happening. So the deeper we'll be able to have this understanding, the better picture of what's going on we can have. Great. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it and had a lot of fun as well. I know for me, it really put me into a great position to be in today. Um, I would say the perception of chi is still, but there was definitely something there. Yes, it takes a little bit of time. And I know, Alex, you've been doing it for a relatively short period of time, so allowing that to grow and develop through the practice of the form, the sensation of chi will start to become more and more tangible. And then we can go deeper into those perception. As I mentioned at the beginning, these exercise, although they will help a little bit to build the chi, that's not the main goal. It's really to bring our awareness into different part of the body to realize what is there. That's why we need other form of training, more um, specific, instead of just always being, ooh, it feels good and I stay there. If it feels good and you're playing with it, you're not going to develop specific skills. Just like, yeah, it's fun to have a ball and kick it and run around and play with it, but that's not what's going to make you a professional football or soccer player. What's going to make you professional is practicing certain drills, understanding the game and how things work, training your body to have the most balance skills possible, and that's what brings you into a more developed state. So it's the same with Qigong. We can just, if we're happy with just happy feelings, then that's fine, but there's so much more to it that having moment to train specific forms, specific movements will develop skills far beyond what we can do if we just stay in a state of, oh, this feel good and I'm staying there. But it's essential to have this as well in order to observe the transformation and to bring awareness to area that we might forget if we do only very strict type of training, because then we need to have training for everything. So a combination of both is essential to fully develop. Our brain has a very square logic side and a very artistic emotional side, and we need both to have a beautiful world. If everything is square and logic, it gets really boring. And if everything is artsy and explosive, then nothing gets done for a while because we're always creating stuff and nothing move. So we really need both of them to work together. Great, thank you, Jane. For those of you who don't know, Jane is also a Qigong Tai Chi teacher in the UK. So it's what comes from a slightly different tradition because she studied with other people, but she also had learned Taiji Qigong Shibashi many, many years ago, if I remember well, and now had validated the way she's practicing with Professor Lin as well. So she is recognized by Professor Lin to be able to teach Taiji Qigong Shibashi in the UK. So it's interesting to have various perspective. People have different background that end up coming to a similar understanding of things. We're very happy to have you with us, Jane, today. Thank you. Mm. Good. Well, thank you very much, everyone. I'll be seeing you all on Friday, and we'll continue our exploration of Qigong and the world of Qi. Great. Take care, guys. Have a beautiful day and see you soon. And if you're watching this on replay, leave your comments below and I'll reply to them.